Well, hello there, welcome back. The good news is, I think this video is going to be quite easy. As a matter of fact, the finish line is kind of in sight. I wrote down what I think we're going to do coming up, and I think we've got about 14 or maybe 15 videos to go. So the finish line is in sight, and actually we've done all of the difficult stuff. So from here onwards, it's going to be pretty easy. However, we do have quite a lot to do, so this may be quite a long video, but let's just plow on. We're nearly there. Let's rock and roll. Now, in the last video, I had a little embarrassing moment. You'll remember we were logged in as the site owner. I'll do that just now. Okay, so what was it again? Admin password, I think. And I had this embarrassing moment in the last video where we were looking at accounts, and when we were deleting an account, the thing was not built, you know, and I was thinking, well, why was that? Well, after I uploaded the last video, I remembered why that wasn't built, and there was a good reason. The reason why I never built the delete feature for the store accounts is because I knew that later on down the line we'd be doing store orders and all sorts of stuff like that, you know. And I thought, well, it would be very uncool if we allowed the site owner to delete an account if that person had made a purchase, you know. I mean, you can't just go in and delete accounts just because you feel like it. If somebody is a customer, then you've really got to keep that record on board. I mean, by all means, take out the address and all of that, right? But you've got to have that store account there for customers. We cannot just let the site owners delete accounts willy-nilly, okay? So that is why I had left that stuff out, and that's why the last video, which should have been 10 minutes, turned out to be about half an hour, okay? So why don't we sort that out before we go any further, right? Let's open up, let me just open up my text editor here. Let's open up store accounts, right? And let's have a little look at this. Now, when we click this yes delete, it takes us somewhere. Where on earth does it go? Nobody knows. It takes us to store accounts / delete, okay? So if we go to store accounts delete, you'll see we've got various checks and whatnot, and if submit is yes delete, then it deletes the thing, makes some flash data, sends them back to the manage page, okay? No surprises. However, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little function in here right before the delete, and we're going to call it underscore make sure delete allowed, and we'll do that for this update ID, okay, or this account ID, if you know what I'm saying here. It's a private one, you can see, with the underscore, and let's just get this thing working, right? So we'll say function make sure delete allowed. So what? Well, there's not even any need for comments. We know what it does. But how are we going to make sure that the delete is allowed, right? And by the way, this is going to return true or false, okay? You know, on a database front, what will it be? Now, originally, I was thinking to myself, well, I don't know, maybe we'll check to see if there's a record in the store orders table for this account holder. Maybe we could do that. We could do that. But then I thought to myself, well, hang on. There's a potential that somebody could create an account, add items to the basket, head over to PayPal, place an order, and while they're doing that, somebody could go in and delete the account, and that would be very uncool. So I've given this some thought, and I think the vibe should be do not allow delete if user or a shopper has items in the basket, actually, or shopper track, okay? That would mean, you know, that we've got store basket and we've got store, one moment, I'll just delete this a bit. Do not delete if has items in baskets or shopper track. So when they place an order, it goes into store shopper track, right? Everyone with an order has something in store shopper track. Everyone who's shopping around has something in the basket. So that's the vibe. That is the vibe, right? So let's just do that, shall we? Let's say, now let me just see. We could actually just do a query here. MySQL query equals delete from store basket, where, now let's have a look at the store basket table just as a quick reminder. How on earth do I close that? I have no clue. I'm so sorry, folks. Come on, give me something here that I can work with. Right, here we go. Okay, so as a reminder, store basket, do you remember? Store basket has got a column called shopper ID. Okay, so I'm gonna do a, let me just see, let's go, yeah, let's just do select all from store basket where shopper ID equals update ID. Okay, simple as that, folks. I'll get rid of the margin there. Simple as that. So query is this custom query running that query, okay? And num rows is query num rows, okay? So if the number of rows returned from that, okay, if the number of rows returned from that is greater than 0, return false, okay? That would mean delete not allowed, since has items in basket, okay? Else, what we'll do is we'll do a query on store shopper track, okay? So here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. So let's just do that. So it would be something like that, okay? And again, select all from store shopper track, where shopper ID is update ID, num rows, blah 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 blah. And again, if num rows is greater than 0, return false, okay? And we'll just say shopper must have made a purchase, okay? So that covers that. And if they manage to get past those two things, if they get this far, we can just say return true. Everything must be cool, so it's okay to delete, you know? That's that. Now, if we were database gurus, yes, we could probably do this with one query and all of that. I know that and I get that, but I'm trying to make this stuff easy. And I just want you guys to capture the basic concepts of what I'm doing here. And that's the reason why I'm doing things the way I'm doing them. Does that make sense? So there you go. Make sure delete allowed, okay? Now, we've got this vibe, which is make sure delete allowed. So I'll create a variable called allowed, okay? And I'll say that if allowed is equivalent to false, then I'm going to do some flash data and send them back to that page, okay? So something like this, okay? And we'll say something like, we'll do one of those red things, so we'll have alert danger, and we'll say you're not allowed to delete this account, okay? To delete this account. That'll do, okay? And that's all looking good. Thank you very much. There we go, right? Now, I'm gonna just return true on this as delete allowed thing, just as a quick test, right? Sorry, is delete allowed false. I'm just going to return false, and I'm just going to test this little son of a gun. Can you handle the vibe? I think you can. So here we go, right? I'm heading into the shop here, and I'm going to try and delete this account. It has an ID. In fact, let me just go back. We're talking about James Baker, right? So here we go, delete. And as you can see, it says you are not allowed to delete this account. I'm happy with that, and I hope you're happy too. So let's just delete that, and I think that this is cool. I think this is ready to go. Now, by the way, folks, another point, while I'm on the subject of babbling away about things that I've left out, another thing is that in the last video, when I was doing all of that string replace stuff and all of that, please remember that if this was a real website, if this was a commercial project and I was being paid to do this, then I would be checking every line of code and looking for junk. You know how we left out things like update password and all that? I would be going through that stuff, taking the time and making sure that the code was clean. I would also, of course, take some time to make sure that this was all cool, you know? So I would be adding items to the basket, to shopper track. I would be testing all of that stuff, making sure it was rock solid, you know? Now I'm going to give you a confession. I've never bothered with unit tests or anything like that, but I'm all in favour of really thoroughly testing things before going live, so just be aware of that, okay? Right, now let's move on. The other thing was this vibe of offers. Remember this? Sorry, order status options. Do you remember this from last time, okay? Same story here. We don't really want to allow a delete if there is an order which happens to have this order status. Does that make sense? That's the vibe, okay? So again, let's open up store order status. Same vibe, right? Store order status, right? You'll find that the structure is identical. So right in here, we're just going to do, in fact, it's really the same as store accounts. It's exactly the same vibe. So let me just add our make sure delete allowed thing. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. Why not, you know? So we're just going to do that. And you're not allowed to delete this status option, since there is at least one order with this status. Makes sense, okay? Makes sense. So make sure delete is allowed. Let's see how that's going to work for this one, right? It's probably going to be a bit more simple, actually. So we'll just grab that. I'll copy it across, and it's going to be easier, you know. So the vibe is, do not allow if an order has this status. That's the rule. That's the vibe. So we would do select all from store orders. Now let's have a look at the store orders table as a little reminder here, folks. So do not allow them to delete from store orders where order status, okay, that's the vibe, order underscore status. So here we go, where order underscore status equals the update ID. And everything is good. Everything is good. We can take this one out and just say return true, right? Pretty simple, folks. It does not get much more simple than that. And I'll just say, again, I'll copy this comment here. Everything's cool, so it's okay to delete, and we don't even need this. Okay, so that's that. I'm not even going to test it. It's just a tutorial and I'm trying to save time, but I'm sure that's going to be cool. Right, now with that out of the way, let's begin the video. Okay, I'm really sorry, folks. I'm going as fast as I can here, okay? And by the way, congratulations for making it this far. I noticed that we'd made it past 100 videos just the other day. And it's funny, you know, when I started this series, I knew it was going to be big, but I thought we could do this in 50 videos. It was just impossible. Turns out you can't do it. That's why there's nobody doing this. There is nobody anywhere on the web doing a web development tutorial as comprehensive as this. Not only for online shop tutorials, not only for Codeigniter, but I dare say this is the most comprehensive tutorial series in the entire genre of web development. And if you think I'm wrong, then please let me know, because I don't see anyone going into anything in as much detail as we are. Yes, of course, there's going to be other frameworks. Of course, Codeigniter 4 might come out tomorrow, who knows? And of course, many of you will move on and start looking at different technologies in the future. But the concepts that we have covered here will stay with you for an entire career. Remember that, right? Remember all of the cool stuff we've covered. You know about hashing passwords and the difference between that and encryption. You know about curl requests. You know about payment gateways. There is so much stuff that is kind of framework independent. And even if you move on to other technologies, I do hope that this has been worth it, okay? And that's pretty much that. And by the way, very quickly before I really begin, super quick, if anyone, when I did this series, I never thought anyone would follow along. Really and truly, I never thought anyone would. But based on the viewing figures and whatnot on YouTube, there's probably about 50 people, I reckon, following along. That's a surprise. I'm very surprised, right? If you are following along, and as the finish line comes up, let me just say this. If you would like maybe an email or a certificate, or even a video message of me saying, hey, thanks Charlie, Charlie has finished the course and knows about this, that. If you would like me to give you something like that at the end of this, let me know, because I was just out having lunch there and I saw a job advert. I'm going to read it to you. Let me just show you. I'll read this. It said, I'm holding my phone up here, and listen to this job that got posted, right? Here we are. Senior PHP developer wanted. And the wage is £70,000 to £90,000 per year. So multiply by about 1.4 and you've got the dollar value, right? We're talking about 6 figures per year, plus bonus, plus stock. Folks, I am reading an email, right? And it says, we are looking for a motivated, enthusiastic, tech-loving senior PHP developer to join one of the fastest global e-commerce organizations in the UK. Must have a track record of blah, 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 blah. Ideally, looking for someone from a web commerce background, blah, 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 blah. And it goes on, right? Folks, people are paying fortunes for this stuff. And I hope I don't sound like a deluded idiot here, but as far as I'm concerned, if you make it to the end of this, then you are perfectly qualified to go after that or anything else that you want, okay? And if you think that a letter from me or a video or even a little certificate, I'll put something together on PDF, if you want anything where I will sign my name and I'll say, you managed to do this training and here's what you learned, and I will stand by you. If you think that will be helpful, let me know and I'll be glad to work something out, okay? Alright, so, sorry folks, let us begin. Okay, so the vibe in this video is that we're going to work on a section for managing orders, okay? Managing orders. So I'd like you to start off by opening up admin.php. That's obviously in the templates folder, the view file admin.php. And I want you to look for the link that says dashboard, okay? We're looking for dashboard. And right underneath that, we're going to chuck in one of these vibes here, okay? So I'm copying this. It's going to be a drop-down link. It will not be an ordinary link, okay? So I've copied that, and I'm going to go right underneath dashboard, and I'll use I'll use normal PHP tags because I really want you to see what's happening. And I'm going to say echo modules run store order status / draw left nav links. Okay, so that's the vibe, and let's draw them. So if you open up store order status, okay, then we jump in here and we say function draw left nav links. Then what I'm just going to say is query get, and we'll order by status title. Okay, in fact that's going to be a data query thing, right? And then we're just going to say this load view left nav links, and passing in the data variable. Do you agree that this is all pretty easy, right? We've gone through this dozens of times. Very easy. Okay, so now I'm going to make up a view file that's called left nav links.php. I'm going to save that son of a gun, and then I'm going to paste in the nice HTML code that we borrowed from the template. Okay, up the top here where it says drop down, I'm going to change that so that it says manage orders. And then in here, I'm going to say for each query, loading up result as row, and I'm going to just echo out one of those li things for each result that comes in. Okay, so we'll just paste in like so. And by the way, this is like a mile long, and that's kind of uncool, so I'm going to do something like that and break it up a bit, you know, just breaking it up a bit. And there we go. So let's make this work. I'll have a variable called target URL, and we'll say that target URL is base URL, and then we'll have something like store orders browse / status, and let's just add on the ID. Okay, so that's our target URL, which goes here, and then right in here we're going to add in our row status title like so. Okay, so we can delete this stuff here, and we can save. And if we check out the top left hand side, right, I'll make this font a bit bigger here if I can. Check out the top left hand side, you'll see that we've now got manage orders. Now there's a wee tag there that I'm not into. Let me just take this out. Okay, so when you look at that top left hand side, yes, we have manage orders, and look at this, all of the different options are here. It is fantasticola. However, don't celebrate too soon, because I'm going to introduce you to one little flaw with the HMVC way of doing things. Now, it doesn't really bother me, it's not a major flaw, but some developers find this annoying, and I think it's right that you should at least be aware of this. Okay, you know what's going to happen. There's going to be pages that display all of the orders for goods dispatched, all of the orders for currently being processed, and all that stuff, right? The problem is, if we go to a page like manage items, you'll see that there's now all errors all over the place. Okay, and you'll probably find that happens on several of the pages. There's another there, CMS. See that? If we go to the blog, same there. You'll probably find that on messages as well. I've deleted the messages, so well, there you are, even in messages. Okay, now what's happening here is an example of variable pollution. Okay, we have a vibe in the template that we've introduced here. If I go to the template, right, and we have this vibe, store orders, draw left hand links, and it's bringing up, sorry, this store order status, it's bringing this up, and it's creating a variable called query, right? And that variable called query is getting mixed up with other query variables, and it's causing all these errors, okay? You'll notice that if I comment this stuff out here, let's just take out those left nav links and hit refresh, you'll see that suddenly everything starts working again. Okay, everything starts working again and it's all cool. Anyway, as cool as this all may be, what I've just shown you there is something that a lot of developers, well, not a lot, but a few developers consider to be a major criticism of the HMVC system. This whole vibe of variable pollution, you know. But I don't think it's that much of a problem for two reasons. First of all, it hardly ever happens. I mean, if I had asked you to do this thing and just finish it on your own, and you'd never seen this video before, I'm going to hazard a guess that most of you folks could finish this entire shopping cart without me, and you'd probably never run into that problem, okay? So it's a very unusual thing for this to crop up. But the other thing is, it's remarkably simple to solve this problem, okay? If this ever does happen, which is hardly ever, the solutions are easy, and I'll give you two of them, okay? Okay, so I'm about to demo the first solution to this very rare, very unusual problem that does sometimes crop up, okay? Now for this first solution, please do not type, okay? I repeat, do not type. Just watch the screen and relax. It's only going to take a minute, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the templates controller and I'm going to go to admin. And in admin, I'm just going to say this load module store order status, okay? I hope you are not typing here. And then I'm going to say data query underscore store order status, we'll call it SOS, is this store order status, and then I'm just going to say get, and we'll order by status title, okay? And then do you remember the thing we had that was called left nav links we made just a minute ago? Well, I would just copy that HTML, jump into the admin panel like so, and then right where this thing appears that's causing the problem here, right about here, I would just go in, paste in our links like so, and if we save that and run that, you'll see that this is now fixed, and the drop down sorry, for each query SOS, there we go, and the drop down works perfectly, okay? So the drop down is cool, see that, and the other pages such as the blog and so on are cool. So that's solution A, okay? Here comes the second solution. Okay, so I'm going to revert the site back to the way it was just a few minutes ago. Okay, so that's me just taking it back to the state it was at, bringing the problems back and whatnot, and I'll clear the decks here, and the problem should now be back again. Okay, and there it is. Okay, so back to where we were just a second ago. So we've got this, but we've got this problem here. Okay, so now you can type along again, okay? Come on in and join in the fun. You can type along. And just to show you folks what's happening here, you'll see that admin.php is loading up that module just the way it was, okay? So join in with the fun. This is going to be easy. All we have to do is open up store order status, okay? Simple as that. And where we've got draw left hand links in, just say query underscore, or left nav links, just say query underscore, I don't know, SOS or LNL for left hand links, anything you want, and then open up left nav links. I'm sorry if I called it left hand links, I keep getting mixed up, left hand, left nav. Anyway, check it out, query left nav links, okay? Query left nav links, left nav. We've just changed the name of the variable, folks, and if we hit refresh, look, it all works. See, everything is cool. The CMS is cool, manage orders is cool, the navigation is cool, everything is super cool. And all we had to do was change the name of a variable. How simple is that, you know? So I think that's going to do us for that video. Thank you very much for this. I'm sorry if I was a bit waffly. In the next video there shall be no waffle. It's going to be all action. I'll see you then. Bye.